a reformed USAID. That's the process we're working through. There are things that are happening at USAID that we should not be involved in funding, or that we have a lot of questions about, but they're completely uncooperative. So we had no choice but to take dramatic steps to bring this thing under control.
But Elon Musk and them, they're trying to get rid of USAID. They're trying to get to USAID right now.
That's an important question. Why is it, Scott, that Elon Musk claims that it is a crime to tweet out the names of the 6 individuals who I have to assume are government employees, maybe they're not, who are going around and carrying out his orders and telling people, for example, to not come into work at an entire federal agency, who are going into the Treasury asking for access to a sensitive payment system? How is it a crime to know who those people are?
I don't know if it's a crime or not. I think it's certainly untoward to try to because you're trying to sick an angry mob on people who are showing up to try to
first of all,
act on behalf of the President of the United States.
First of all, this is his platform, okay? If his own platform is an angry mob, that's one thing. But he also does this all the time. And these are people who are doing things that affect Americans. They're working in the government.
Well,
I don't see why it needs to be a secret.
They're doing things that affect the bureaucracy, which is why you see all the rage today.
You don't think that this stuff affects Americans, Scott?
I mean, yeah, probably in a positive way. And I'm glad to see Democrats are coming around to the idea that the unelected people who might be involved in the running of our country are important, because you seem to have no interest in that for the last 4 years under the last administration. Here's the bottom line. The American people, you know what that means is that you had a president who was not functional, and you know it.
Actually, by that same token, I mean, if you're concerned about the people around Joe Biden running the government, why aren't you concerned about?
Because I don't have any concern that this president is functional. He's a functional president, and Musk is an agent of the president.
Why are you not concerned that Elon Musk is, according to a lot of reports, someone that no one around the president wants to even cross because he's so powerful, and he has leverage over this president because he spent $250 million to get him elected?
Look, the president was elected. He runs the government. Elon Musk is an agent of the executive branch at the direction of the president, and as the president said today, he's not doing anything that he doesn't have permission to do. And I will just remind you all, one of the things he was elected to do is to shake up Washington, stop doing business as usual, and rein in an out-of-control bureaucracy that, as the Congresswoman correctly pointed out, is spending money in ways that was never intended.
And this what makes this discussion so interesting, because what Scott is basically saying, and I think his name is Scott, is that Elon Musk is operating directly under the presence of the president, meaning that everything he's doing, according to his eyes, is constitutional. And if you look at it from that perspective, it makes a lot of sense. And he also brought up the point that if you're so against government workers being taken out, or if you're so against, I guess, government being ignored because they do important things, why wasn't this mentioned when President Joe Biden was in office? Where was this problem? Where was this discussion when Joe Biden was in office? And a lot of conservatives were bringing up the point that Joe Biden was not functioning mentally. And there's a lot of controversy around Elon Musk going into government offices and Department of Government Efficiency going into government offices. And I sat and thought about it, because technically speaking, the Department of Government Efficiency is not a government department in its literal definition, meaning that it wasn't decided on by Congress. It's directly within the executive branch under Donald Trump. However, it's kind of an extension of Donald Trump. So if you look at it from that perspective, it would be as though Donald Trump gave his committee direct oversight on going into offices and saying, okay, I need you guys to do this. So it's a very interesting discussion. A lot of people agree with what Doge is doing. A lot of people do not agree with it. But Scott Jennings I think he was being fair. What he was doing was giving Elon Musk the benefit of the doubt. And when he said releasing their names are illegal, that's what Elon Musk said. Releasing their names is not illegal, but it can lead to people attacking them or people doxing them if they know that they're working directly under Elon Musk. And there's a lot of controversy. So what that means is, if you release their names and the names were secret at first, what is the expected outcome when releasing their names? Do you want people to harm them? Do you want people to attack them, attack their character. That's what Elon Musk was, well, not Elon Musk. That's what Scott Jennings was saying.
You're now the head of USAID. The head of Doge, Elon Musk, called USAID a criminal organization and added that it is time for it to die. Do you agree with that?
They have basically evolved into an agency that believes that they're not even a U.S. government agency, that they are a global charity, that they take the taxpayer money and they spend it as a global charity, irrespective of whether it is in the national interest or not in the national interest. One of the most common complaints you will get if you go to embassies around the world from State Department officials and ambassadors and the like is USAID is not only not cooperative, they undermine the work that we're doing in that country. They are supporting programs that upset the host government for whom we're trying to work with on a broader scale and so forth. So they're completely unresponsive. They just don't consider that they work for the U.S. They just think they're a global entity and that their master is the globe and not the United States. And that's not what the statute says, and that's not sustainable.
Can it be reformed or does it need to die?
Well, that was always the goal, was to reform it. But now we have rank insubordination. Now we have basically an active effort where their basic attitude is we don't work for anyone. We work for ourselves. No agency of government can tell us what to do. So the president made me the acting administrator. I've delegated that power to someone who's there full time, and we're going to go through the same process at USAID as we're going through now at the State Department. I think there are this is not about getting rid of foreign aid. There are things that we do through USAID that we should continue to do that makes sense. And we'll have to decide, is that better through the State Department or is that better through something, a reformed USAID? That's the process we're working through. There are things that are happening at USAID that we should not be involved in funding, or that we have a lot of questions about. But they're completely uncooperative. So we had no choice but to take dramatic steps to bring this thing under control.
So this is about USAID. This is where the bulk of the controversy is coming from. Here's what I'll say. I don't know a lot about USAID. I really don't. I do know it's a very, controversial thing that Donald Trump wants to get rid of. A lot of people are very for USAID. They're against USAID. But what I assume USAID is that they are the ones responsible for giving aid to overseas companions or overseas countries that need it. That's what I assume is happening in USAID. I would have to ask y'all. But if what he's saying is true and they were not able to, listen to the government and they were not taking government insight pretty well, then yeah, you kind of have to get rid of it. But obviously, I need to look more into it. But Elon Musk and them, they're trying to get rid of USAID. They're trying to get to USAID right now. So let me know what you guys think. But there's more talking points about USAID.
As you probably saw, Elon Musk and his crew put a gag order on AID employees. They disconnected them from email, which is putting lives at risk around the world. So we are here to enter the building and so we can hear firsthand from whoever is here at AID, or at least witness firsthand what is happening with this Elon Musk attempted takeover, which will not stand. We will prevail. Let's go.
So it looks like they're entering the building, but here's my confusion with this. If you're entering the USAID building, how could you be mad at Elon Musk for also entering the USAID building? And what I mean is you're bringing, I'm not going to say a mob of people, but a large conglomerate of people to walk in this building and basically say, what's the problem here? What is Elon Musk doing to you? That's what you're doing right now. what is the difference between what you're doing and what Elon Musk is doing? Because if he's also going into a building and saying, these are my 3 or 4 people, what are you guys doing in here? And he's directly under the president, what would be the difference in what you guys are doing? I thought the problem was that Elon Musk did not have the clearance to enter into the buildings. That's what I assume the issue is. But you're entering the building, and I know you don't have the clearance, so maybe the problem is that he's entering the building and he's trying to change things. That's what I assume the problem is. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you're team Elon Musk or not team Elon Musk regarding Doge. But anyways, it's LFR JoJo, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.